be the growth curve. Previous thing we were discussing about arithmetic growth and geometric growth, right? In that geometric growth, I have already told you that geometric growth is determined based on the nutrient present in the medium. So when the nutrient is present in the medium, that leads to a curve called growth curve. Growth curve is nothing but exponential growth. It means a growth which rapidly taking place in the nutrient medium is called the exponential growth. That exponential growth curve can be represented by a equation called WT equal WOERT. Okay, here the WT is the final size, that is end size of the growth curve. W0 is the initial stage. The moment the growth curve it starts, that's we called it as initial size. R represents the growth rate and T represents the time of growth. So how much of time is required for the growth to take place represents the time of growth. So for that representation, it is this equation is required for the growth curve. When you take a growth curve, four important terms are required for the growth curve. One is lag phase, two is log phase, three is declining phase, fourth is stationary phase. Okay, and if you take this growth curve, it is represented in a graph. Okay, this graph, x-axis represents the growth, y-axis represents the time zone. So x-axis represents the growth, y-axis represents the time. And if you take this graph is can be, say for example, it can be right like this. So here this starting point is lag phase, the steady increases log phase, and the equal size is stationary phase, and if it falls down, this we called it as declining phase. Why we get a declining phase is because declining phase, the nutrient medium will be reduced. So once the nutrient medium will be reduced, so the phase will be declined, the graph will be declined. Okay, so in that lag phase, usually a time required for the adaptation is the lag phase. In the log phase, as I've already told you that it is a continuous exponential growth, rapid growth, fast growth will be happening in the log phase, and in the stationary phase, the steady growth of phase will be there. That means equal amount of growth will be there. That is a stationary phase. Declining phase you can also called as senescent phase. It means the nutrient present in the medium will reduce. When it reduced, that leads to the declining phase, and this is very important point of view when you talk about the NEET question. Once the NEET question paper, this was asked. Okay, anything it could be asked. So when I talk about the question point of view, this is very important. So just make a note of it. Lag phase is adaptation phase, log phase is exponential phase, stationary is equal phase, and phase of decline is the declining of the nutrient medium will leads to the growth to reduced amount. That is we called it as the declining phase. Exam point of view, this part is very important. Apart from that, this equation is also significant. Okay, now we have, and if you talk about this phase can be correlate with another graph, that is bacterial growth curve. I think in microbiology you have studied about bacterial growth curve. In that bacterial growth curve, and this growth curve of plant is equal to one another. So don't get confused when they ask you bacterial growth curve. The same 4 points has to become, that is lag phase, log phase, declining phase and stationary phase. And if it asked in the plant growth curve, this same is going to come. So don't get confused. All these 4 will be same for growth curve in plants as well as bacterial growth curve. So they could ask anything. Even they can ask you in a question paper like bacterial growth curve, or they can ask a plant growth curve. So don't get confused. All this 4 is same in the bacterial growth curve as well as in the plant growth curve. Okay. Next we move on to measurement of growth. How are we going to measure the growth? Usually when human being born, okay, a baby born, okay, you know that the baby is very small. The moment it goes 1 year, it will grow, and another 5 years it will grow, and 10 years it becomes a master. I mean, that's age group we called it as master, and after it attains 15 years we call teen, and once it goes for 19 years we called as adult. Okay, so that the growth can be physically seen in the human being. That exactly in plant also the growth has to be seen. How can we see a growth in plant? How are we going to measure a plant growth? Like if you take a human growth, you know that for measuring the height you require a scale for measurement, right? The same way for plant to measure the plant growth, you require a oximeter. You require a oximeter. This oximeter will have at the one end, it will have a wheel. We called it as pulley. Okay, so one end it will has a wheel. We call that as pulley. Okay, the moment when you attach this plant, you have to tie one other side of the oximeter with the plant side. Once the plant grow, the pressure of the pulley will be rotate gradually. That shows the length measurement of the growth. So plant growth can be measured by oximeter. In oximeter, when growth occurs, stem increases in length. That you know very well. When the plant grows, usually the stem is seen physical growth. So stem will increases in length. Due to pressure of weight, wheel rotates gradually. I have already told you that in oximeter there will be a wheel attached to the other side. So due to the pressure of the weight, what it happen is the wheel will be rotates gradually. That determines, that shows the measurement of growth in oximeter. So we have completed the growth curve, and we have seen the how are we going to measure the growth. Okay, next we move on to factors influencing the plant growth. What are the factors which influence the plant growth? The first factor which we are going to talk about here is light. Okay, as you all know that light is the important source for the photosynthesis. Yes, if there is no photosynthesis, the plant cannot prepare its own food material. For that, light is required. But how much amount of light is required is significant question. It is not that you require a very less light, or not that you require a more light. A visible light has to be required for the plant to prepare its own food material by way of photosynthesis. So light controls the photosynthesis. Not only light controls the photosynthesis, light also controls the transpiration. I think I have told you about that transpiration. It is the loss of water by way of vaporization. Okay, so transpiration, it controls the transpiration. And third point is pigment formation, that is chlorophyll pigment or xanthocyanin pigment or any kind of a pigment. That formation is also require a light. Okay, so this is three function, and the fourth function is tissue differentiation. As you all know that plant has a number of tissues like cortical cells, parenchymatous cells, sclerenchymatous cells, all those, tissues require a differentiation. It is not that plant has only one type of tissue. It has a different type of tissue. For those different type of tissues, it requires a differentiation. For that differentiation, light is required. Okay. Next one is seed germination. When we say seed germination, as you all know that you have experienced practically in your home, that when you sow the seed, okay, once you sow the seed, you keep that, pot under the light for so that the plant will grow. That you know it, right? So for the seed to germinate, you have to keep the pot, that is seed sow pot has to be, exposed to the light so that the seed will be germinate. So for the seed germination, light is required. And one more thing I want to share it when I'm talking about the light. Onion do not grow in the shade of light. Onion will grow only in the absence of light. This is just one tip I'm going to give about the light. Next factor we are going to talk about is temperature. Temperature is very, very, very crucial point of view when we talk about the growth of plant. Why am I talking about temperature over here is, it is not that all the plant grows in the same temperature. There are few plants which require a different temperature. There are other plants which may not grow in that one particular temperature. So temperature plays a very, very important role when we talk about the growth. So there are few plants which grow only in the 2 to 5 degrees Celsius, and there are certain plants which grow only in the 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. There are certain plants which grow only in the 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So when we talk about this differentiation in the temperature, it means that all the plants does not have a constant temperature. So the temperature will vary from the plant to plant. So you cannot come into a judgment saying that a plant grows in the any temperature. It has to have an appropriate temperature. Then alone the plant will grow on it. Okay. Now, if the temperature goes below the, normal temperature for the plants to grow, what happened is it inactivates the enzymes. So when the enzymes get inactivated, you know what will be the problem. So when the enzymes get inactivated, it increases the density of protoplasm. So when the increase of density of protoplasm is happening, you cannot appreciate the growth of the plant. So temperature also plays a crucial role in it. Third one is water. You might be thinking, I'm just pouring out the water. What is there? Water is there. So why can't the plant grow? It is not so. Water again plays a significant role in the plant growth. Okay. As you know that water is essential for cell elongation, cell turgidity, and functioning of metabolic machinery. So for that, required amount of water is required, because if the water is less, the plant may not go for cell differentiation or cell turgidity. And same way, if the water is excess, even the plant may not be able to perform its function as normal as the normal amount of water. So hydration is very, very significant when we talk about the cell elongation, cell turgidity, and functioning of metabolic machinery. Next one we are going to talk about is oxygen. As you know that oxygen is required for human beings. Okay, so oxygen required for release of energy during respiration. As you know that there are when electron acceptor has to work on it, so for that oxygen is required. I think in the pathways, C3 pathway and C4 pathway, I was discussing about the especially in the C4 pathway and CAM pathway, I was discussing about the how does the oxygen binds for the release. So oxygen is important when we talk about the release of energy during the respiration. Next is soil. As you all know that plants takes its minerals from the soil. So soil provides the minerals. Next is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. And you know that carbon dioxide is very, very important when we talk about the photosynthesis of plants. Without carbon dioxide, a plant may not fix the nitrogen fixation, and photosynthesis cannot be performed. So for that, carbon dioxide is important. So for carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis, and that is how the photosynthesis, the nutrition will be provided for the plant. Next, we move on to gravity. Gravity, as you know that gravity is very focal point when we talk about the balancing. Okay, for that balancing, gravity is a focal point. Okay, so it determines which side direction a shoot or an root will grow. Okay, so gravity is essential, determines the direction of root and shoot growth. Okay, next is stress. As I've already told you that it is not only stress disappoint the human beings, even stress can disappoint the plants. Okay, human beings stress is completely emotional one, but when we talk about the plant stress, that is different one. The plant stress is nothing but the amount of water which determines the effect on growth. So it is stress is a detrimental effect on growth. As I've already told you that excess of water is also not good for the plant growth. So that comes under the stress. So when there is a water when water is very excess, that leads to a stress on the plant. So when the plant acquires a stress in the form of water, what happened is it affects the growth of the plant. Last one factors which influencing the plant growth is nutrition. As you know that whether human beings or a unicellular organism, anything, it requires a nutrition. So nutrition has to be provided. So here provides raw material for the growth and source of energy. Nutrition is very important for the any living cell or any living organism to grow. So without nutrition, any living cell or any living organisms cannot be survive on the earth. For that, nutrition is very sufficient. So when we talk about the nutrition, we need to take only in the form of raw material. We cannot take it in the form of minerals. So first we have to take it in the raw material form, then it will be converted into inorganic form for the plants. So nutrition is very important point of view when we talk about the factors. Okay, so once again I'm coming back to the factors which influence the plant growth is light, temperature, water, oxygen, soil, carbon dioxide, gravity, stress and nutrition. So this is about the growth curve. How are we going to measure the growth, and what are the factors which influence the growth? Okay, next we move on to redifferentiation, dedifferentiation, and what is differentiation. Okay.